Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Jaya Jaya Sri Chaitanya Jaya Nityananda. Jaya Dvaita Chandra Jaya Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Om Jnanatimirandasya Jnananjana Shalakaya Chakshur Unmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Sthapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kada Mahyam Dadati Swapadantikam. Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Presthaya Bhutale Srimate Bhakti Vedanta Swaminiti Namine. Namaste Saraswati Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschat Deshatarane Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Evacha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Shivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare Hare. Hare Krishna 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 Hare Hare. Hare Rama Rama Hare. Hare Krishna. So thank you, Sri Gaurang Prabhu and who are the organizers here, whole team, for giving me this opportunity so that I can purify my existence by speaking something about the sweet pastimes of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have been discussing the subject of, you can say, the most confidential subject matter of Krishna's Lila when he comes in the form of his own devotee, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So we have been reciting a verse from Srimad Bhagavatam regularly before we start this Gaur Lila recitation. Anyone remembers this shloka? Yes? Krishna Varnam Tusha Krishnam Sangopangastra Parshadam Yagya Sankritana Praya Yajanti Hi Sumedasa. That in Kali Yuga, Krishna comes in the form of his own devotee to establish the Yuga Dharma of devotional service through Nama Sankirtana. And how does he come? Tvisha Krishna. Tvisha means he has a bodily luster. The luster of the skin is Krishna. It's not black. It is golden, Gaura. When Garga Muni comes to name Krishna and Balaram in the Gokula, That time, Nanda Maharaj, he is very eager that these two boys be named. They are still not named. They are about 100 days old. And still, there is no name. But Garga Muni is not some ordinary person, like a governor of the state or a Shankaracharya or a president. When they move around, everyone knows where they are going. It's all known. So Garga Muni cannot go hidingly, and he cannot do things in open because he is the Rajguru or Purohit of whole Yadukula. So everyone knows Yadukul's Purohit is going and naming these two ordinary boys. Who are they? So Kamsa will come to know. Therefore, he tells Nanda Maharaj, Vasudeva has sent me. But you tell me a place where no one will see this. So where is Krishna and Balaram named? He takes him to a Goshala, cowshed. And who all are there? Only Nanda Maharaj, no one else. And there Gargacharya, he tells this first boy, he is Bala personified. And he will also take pleasure in showing his Bala. So, and also he will give lot of pleasure to everyone in his family, to the whole Yadukula. Therefore, his Bala Ram. Also, he will be known as Sankarshana because he brings the two families, Vishnus and Yadus, together. And this boy, the black one, he is. Now, he doesn't say that he is Vishnu. He says he's almost like Narayan. He doesn't reveal that he is actually Vishnu. He says he has all the qualities of Narayan. And he has many, many names, unlimited potencies. And in other ages, sometimes he comes as with a red skin. Sometimes he comes as white body. And sometimes he comes as yellowish body. So now there are four colors are described, right? Black, red, white, yellow. So red, I've heard this. I do not have any Shastric immediate reference to it. But in the Satyuga, Prishnigarbha was red color. He was the avatar, Yoga avatar. And Kapila Muni is white. Something like that they say. But this needs to be confirmed. But the yellow avatar is definitely the Kali Yuga avatar. That is Suvarna. Suvarna Varna Hemango. That's how it is described in the Vishnu Sahasranam. So this Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, His Holiness Radhanath Swami Maharaj says that all other avatars they come and teach you how to be a devotee of the Lord. But in this incarnation, he comes to teach how to be a devotee of a devotee. That's the, you can say, the confidentiality of this avatar that he shows. Krishna has been saying this all the time. To Arjuna, he says that one who claims to be my devotee is not actually my devotee. One who is devotee of my devotee, he is the actual devotee. So, to establish this fact as irrevocable, as the most important fact, the Lord Himself comes as a devotee and He shows how to be devotee of the devotees. So, in the previous class, we have discussed up to the point, we have been discussing from Sri Chaitanya Charitamrit, written by Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami. And we have taken Madhya Lila as the, you can say, continuation of Madhya Lila is going on right now. Madhya Lila begins from the time Lord Chaitanya takes sannyas, and then he travels around Puri, South India, Vrindavan, comes back and settles in Puri for the next 18 years, which is Antya Lila. So 6 years is Madhya Lila, but lot has happened in this Madhya Lila. All the beautiful pastimes, all the lessons which we learn predominantly in Madhya Lila. I wanted to show all of you how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu traveled today on a screen. But unfortunately, we couldn't have the projector today. But next time I'll show you. Where all he went? Anyone? Where did he go? From Bengal he came to Puri, Odisha. Then, huh? Kurmakshetra. Then, where all he went? Full South India. Then he came to Mumbai. You have any idea? He came to Mumbai actually. Mumbai is a Tirtha Kshetra. Have you visited a place known as Bana Ganga? Anyone? Yeah? Valkeshwar? What is Valkeshwar? Valukeshwar. Valu means the sand. So Lord Ram, when he is moving around in the jungles, he comes to this place. And there to worship Lord Shiva he makes a linga, Shivalinga, which is made of sand. And there it is right on the seashore. So he tells Lakshman that I need some Ganga water. So Lakshman shot an arrow in the base of the hill, and from there Ganga came out. And she poured the water. That water was poured on that linga. That is Valakeshwar. It is still there. And that Ganga is also still, you can still take bath there. There is a pond called as Bana Ganga, and actually there is stream also. In the rainy season, if you go, it is really flowing with gushing waters, and you can lie down there and take bath there nicely. It's very beautiful. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came here. From here, he might have passed through this place. We don't know. And then he went to Nalasopara. Are you aware of this? Sopara is in the scriptures written as Shurparaka. So Shurparak is not just a Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's times place. Ram has come, Balaram has come, Krishna has come there. Krishna has come to Vasai and the Shurparaka. Shurparak Tirtha on the bank of the Vaitarana has about 108 Tirthakshetras, which are still out of that 45 are discovered right now. Others are unknown. 45 are already discovered. When the Portuguese, they forcibly converted many Brahmanas and many Hindus. That time many places were lost. There is one Brahma Dongri. If today also you go, there is a place called Brahma Dongri. There was a Brahmadev's temple, but today there is nothing there. It is still known as Brahma Dongri. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu came, took bath in that Sarovar there, which is still existing, Nirmal Sarovar. And from there, then he went to Kolhapur, Pandharpur. Then going down again, he goes to Hampi, or at that time it was known as Kishkinda. From Kishkinda, he comes to Dandakaranya, to Nashik. From Nashik, he goes north to Narmada and Tapi. So many people don't think that he ever went to Gujarat, but he was there. He went Narmada and Tapi. They have a lot many. Narmada is actually you can do a full parikrama of Narmada even today. It takes about maybe 3 to 4 months walking, and if you go by car, it will take 21 days. Full Narmada you can circumambulate. So he must have done that. Then all the places on the banks of Tapi, both are in Gujarat. From there he comes down again and ultimately reaches a place known as Kushavarta, which is near Tambakeshwar. Trambakeshwar, everyone knows. So there is a Kushavarta where Godavari actually manifests. And then he took the path of Godavari back to where he had met Ramananda Rai on the bank of Godavari. And once he meets Ramananda Rai again, then he comes back to Puri. So this is the whole journey of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, which is very excellent, very absorbing, which we'll go through it, and I will show you next time how he traveled all the places. So last time we took up to the part that he reaches Jagannath Puri, and there he has now influenced Sarvam Bhattacharya in debate, and Bhattacharya understands that this is the Supreme Lord and I must surrender. So he surrenders. But Bhattacharya, Sarvam Bhattacharya, is the again Rajaguru. He is the Guru of King. And his name was Sarvabhauma. That means in the whole land of India, or whatever was known at that time as the civilized land, there was no one as learned as him. That's why he was known as Sarvabhauma. And his erudition, logic was so strong that he had many, many sannyasis as his disciples, even though he was a grahastha. So when sees Chaitanya Mahaprabhu in the form of Vishnu and then Krishna and then again sitting as a sannyasi, so he's astonished. And immediately he falls flat, offers obeisances, gets up, starts praying. Now, what is his scholarship? What is his capacity to speak in Sanskrit? That on the spot, he composes 100 shlokas in praise of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu on the spot. And he sings all of them. And Mahaprabhu embraces him. And just as soon as he embraces him, all the truth which was hidden behind the logic of Saram Bhattacharya, truth is many times behind the logical and so-called knowledge aspect. Behind that, the real truth is hidden. It is very confidential. So you cannot understand truth just by reading. Truth has to be revealed from inside. And that comes by the mercy of the Lord, the mercy of the Vaishnavas. So Bhattacharya, as soon as he is embraced, immediately all tears, they just gush down. He doesn't know what's happening. He's crying, sometimes falling flat, sometimes starts dancing, laughing, and everyone around him, now he is Sarvam Bhattacharya, he is not some ordinary person. Everyone around is astonished. How is this person doing this? Like a child he is behaving. And his brother-in-law, Gopinatha Acharya, he is, you can say, lovingly taunting Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. This is all because of you, this is happening. Bhattacharya was such a composed person. What's happening to him? It's all because of you. So Mahaprabhu starts smiling and he says, yes, because he is related to you and you are such a wonderful devotee. Therefore, Lord Krishna has bestowed all the mercy on Sarvabhauma. Like that, Bhattacharya is completely now one of the most intimate associates of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So then they go home, and next morning, I think this part I might have said already. Did I say this last time? That when I'll just make it short. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu wakes up early morning, goes to see the Lord's darshan when he wakes up, and receives some flower garland and Mahaprasad. So he ties in the cloth and straight goes to Sarvabhauma Bhattacharya's house. Now, previous houses are not like, they locked and everything. They're all open. When Bhattacharya is sleeping in the open on his bed, and when Mahaprabhu, like he's on the door, Bhattacharya is just waking up. It is just before sunrise. He's waking up, and as soon as he wakes up, he says, Krishna, Krishna. So immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very happy. Oh, yesterday was something else. Today is as soon as he's waking up, he's chanting Krishna, Krishna. And immediately Bhattacharya realizes, oh, Mahaprabhu is standing at the doorstep. So he brings him in, makes him seated, and starts worshipping him, even without taking bath or anything. So Mahaprabhu delivers him prasad. So he accepts the prasad, and right there he starts eating it. First he quotes two shlokas from the Shastras. The shlokas mean like this, that if Mahaprasad of the Lord comes at any time, even if it is dried, it is stale, it has come from a long distance, one should, without hesitation, without consideration of time and place, just accept it. So he quotes the shloka, then eats it. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is extremely happy. And he comes and tells the devotees, this is what Bhattacharya has become. So then Bhattacharya comes where he was staying. Next morning, he writes two shlokas, again in the praise of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. And he gives to Jagdananda Pandit and he says, you show this to Mahaprabhu. So Jagdananda Pandit, Damodar Pandit, they come and they say, Bhattacharya has written these beautiful shlokas. So Mukunda Dutt, who's there, he says, show me the shlokas. So he reads, and what he does is immediately writes on the wall the shlokas before delivering it to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Then Jagdananda takes from Mukunda and gives to Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu reads, immediately tears it and throws it. Why? Because it is glorifying him. I'll tell you the exact shloka. It's beautiful shloka. Okay, here is the shloka. This is a very famous shloka Prabhupada quotes very often. Vairagya Vidya Nija Bhakti Yoga Shiksharthakam Eka Purusha Purana Shri Krishna Chaitanya Sharirabhari Kripam Budhiryam Yastamaham Prapadde. I surrender to the Krupa Ambudhi, the ocean of mercy, Sri Krishna Chaitanya, who has come to teach Nija Bhakti, his own devotion. By that devotion, immediately the person, whoever accepts it, immediately becomes Vairagi. Now, some of you might get a little shocked. I don't want to become a Vairagi. Like, this is, I'm too young still now. I'm young, so I don't want to become younger Vairagi. But this Vairagya is not that kind of Vairagya. Vairagya from everything which is not conducive to Krishna consciousness. Whatever is not conducive to your Krishna consciousness, from that you achieve Vairagya. This is Chaitanya Mahaprabhu's, you can say, the reason for coming to this material world. So then this shloka was by hearted by each and every devotee. And now it has become famous. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu had accepted sannyas in the month of Magha. After Magh, in the month of Palgun, he travels to Jagannath Puri. And in the month of Chaitra, he gives his mercy to Sarvam Bhattacharya, and Bhattacharya becomes a Vaishnava. Now, few days have passed. There is a lot of interaction between Bhattacharya and other devotees, and Bhattacharya is so happy that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is watching him, the way he is progressing quickly. So one day, Bhattacharya tells Gopinath Acharya, who is his brother in law, actually junior to him, he says, only because I have some connection with you that I could get this grace of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, Sri Krishna Chaitanya Mahaprabhu. So by saying this, he accepts inferior position to Gopinath Acharya. So far, he was always in a superior position. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is very pleased. Then one day, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu calls all his associates, the four people who came with Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu from Bengal to Puri, Nityanand Prabhu, Mukunda Dutt, Jagdananda Pandit and Damodar Pandit. So he calls them. Now look at the loving reciprocation of the devotees, how Chaitanya Mahaprabhu deals with them. So he holds their hands together and he says, I am so indebted to all of you that you have been so kind to me that you have brought me to Jagannath Puri. And let me tell you that in my life, there is nothing more important than your friendship. It will be easier for me to give up my life than to give up your company. But now I want to beg one charity from you. So sannyasis are supposed to ask for charity. So I'm begging one charity from all of you. My brother, elder brother, Vishwarup, he took sannyas and he left. I want to go in search of him. So please give me your permission. But this time, give your permission for me to go alone. I don't want to take on any one of you. And you remain here till I come back. That is my request. As soon as they hear this, they don't know what to speak. For them, this is like a thunderbolt. So they just can't speak. They are speechless. So they're looking down, they don't know what to say. Then Nityanand Prabhu speaks up. He says, oh, South India. I know all the places. I have been there, and just take me and everything will be fine. Now, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks at Nityananda Prabhu and he says, actually, you should know that I am simply a puppet and you are the puppeteer. Whatever way you can make me dance, I always dance. I am simply a puppet in your hand. However, when I came, you just broke my sannyas danda, threw it in the river. I wanted to go to Vrindavan, instead you brought me to Advaitacharya's house in Shantipur. So such things disturb me. So please, I cannot take you. And then this Jagdananda, he always wants me to eat palatable dishes. He wants me to enjoy sense gratification. And if I refuse whatever he offers me, he doesn't talk me for three days. And this Mukunda, as a sannyasi, I am supposed to be sleeping on the ground, hard floor. I am supposed to take 3 times a day bath, cold water bath, whether it is winter or summer, or whatever season it is. And seeing this adherence to the sannyas vows, Mukunda looks at me with such sadness, such unhappiness, that seeing him unhappy, I become doubly unhappy. And Damodar Pandit, he's a brahmachari and I'm a sannyasi. Still, at all times, he keeps a stick in his hand to teach me the etiquette of sannyas. Now, you must understand, this is the extreme, like, this is really you have to go deep into understanding what Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is saying. He's actually finding fault with everyone, with Nityanand Prabhu, Jagdanand Pandit, Damodar Pandit, Mukundat. But what is he doing? Actually, he's expressing his love. Just like, you sometimes mother, father, parents, they are so much in love with the child, they call him Badmash, Chor. You heard, Melea, Kutreya. So many things they say. But it is all about love. They complain to people, ये क्या क्या करता है आपको जानते नहीं. But inside it is all love. So something similar is happening here, that he is actually finding faults but expressing his love. And he says, therefore, I don't want to take any one of you. I will go alone. And till I come back, please be here. Then ultimately, Nityanand Prabhu says that okay, we will not come because whatever your order is, that's our, whether we are happy, unhappy, doesn't matter. This is your order, we'll follow it. Just one request, if you accept it, we'll be happy. If you don't accept it, that is also fine. But when you are traveling, you will have a set of clothes. You have this kamandalu. Previously, you had a danda also, but that's no more there now. So at least kamandalu and clothes. And plus, you will be all the time chanting, raising your hands. So somebody has to be there. And also, you fall down unconscious many times. So who will protect you at that time? So this one Brahmana is there, Krishnadas, take him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, whatever you order me, I will follow. And with all these people, then they go to Sarum Bhattacharya's house. So as soon as Sarum Bhattacharya sees them, he offers them respect, pranams, make them seated, starts inquiring, and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is quite nervous to break the news to Sarum Bhattacharya. So he starts talking of Krishna Katha. So they discuss Krishna Katha for a long time, and then at the end, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells Sarum Bhattacharya that actually I have come here to take your permission to go to South India to search my brother. So Bhattacharya immediately responds. For him, it was like a shattering experience that completely the earth was shaking for him. He didn't know what to say, starts crying, and he says, by my great fortune, I have received your association just few days back, and now you are going away. It was better that a thunderbolt falls on me. It is better I could have tolerated even my son dying. Now imagine, this is somebody saying, my son dying can be tolerated for me, but not your lack of association. So this is the intensity of love between the devotee and the Lord. Even in Krishna Lila, the gopis, for them, their own son, daughter, whoever they were, they always loved Krishna more than them. So Bhattacharya, he says, I know you are the independent supreme personality of Godhead, so you will do what you want. I cannot stop you. But may I request that you can stay at least for a few more days in this house? So then, for 4 to 5 days, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu stays there. And on day 5, all of them, Bhattacharya, all the 4 devotees, Gopinathacharya, everyone goes to early morning to take darshan of Jagannath to receive his permission. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu circumambulates the Jagannath deity, Jagannath Baldev Subhadra. And then the pujari comes and gives him the garland. So through that garland, he receives the permission. Okay, I can depart. So he is about to depart. That time Sarvam Bhattacharya says, my lord, I have one request. There is one of my friends in South India. His name is Ramananda Rai. And don't consider him some government official, a Shudra. There is no one who knows the mellows of devotion as much as Ramananda Rai. Previously, I used to make fun of him thinking he's a simple Vaishnava. But now that I have received your mercy, I can see how great he is. So we must meet him and show your mercy to him. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu says, yes, I will definitely meet him. He stays in the town of Vidyanagar and he is the governor of the Madras province. So after saying this, immediately Chaitanya Mahaprabhu turns and starts walking. As soon as he walks away, right there Bhattacharya faints and he becomes unconscious. So Nityananda Prabhu somehow revives him and Nityananda Prabhu, all the devotees, they all start going with Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and they reach a place known as Alarnath, which is about 22.2 kilometers from Jagannath Puri. So walking it will take about, if you walk swiftly, 3 to 3.5 hours. So they reach. Now this Alarnath is a very esoteric place. The deity over there is Chaturbhuja Narayan. And this Narayan deity has relation to Krishna Lila. So in Krishna Lila, when Ras Lila is happening, suddenly Krishna disappears from Ras Lila. And all the gopis are searching. Where is Krishna? Where is Krishna? So ultimately they are going in the jungles of Vrindavan and trying to ask the trees, the deers, where is the son of Nanda Maharaj? Where has he gone? So suddenly Krishna is caught. That Krishna is there, but Krishna immediately takes form of four-armed Narayan. So he's standing as Narayan. So gopis look at him and they say, oh, Narayan, where is Krishna? So Narayan has no value. So even though Lord Narayan is in front of him, they say, okay, you met us, very nice of you. But please tell us, where is the son of Nanda Maharaj? So he says, there. And then gopis go forward. Then Radharani comes. And as soon as she bows down to Narayan, then Krishna cannot, you know, he cannot anymore conceal himself. So his two arms fall off. And again he becomes Krishna. So that form of Narayan, that is Alarnath. And the deity's temple and that whole place is right on the seashore. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu comes there, and very soon the word spreads that there's a great sannyasi has come. It's very beautiful and is decorated with such symptoms of ecstasy that just by looking at him, you start chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So Mahaprabhu's power was such that people who looked at him, they just started floating in the ecstasy of love of Godhead, Krishna Prema. Now all these people, women, children, old people, young people, everyone they came to see him. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu chanting, dancing, and seeing that they are floating in the ocean of Krishna Prema. Everyone. Now they have floated in the ocean previously because the ocean is right there. They're all staying on the shore of the ocean. From that ocean, always after floating, they went home. But after floating in this ocean, no one wanted to go home. They just stuck there. Now devotees are saying, "You go home." They're not going home. They are simply chanting Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare. So Krishna, Hari, Govinda, Mukunda. So this is all going on. So ultimately, after a long time, Nityananda Prabhu takes Chaitanya Mahaprabhu aside. Then they go for bath, come back, and still no one has gone home. So ultimately, forcibly, he closes the door of the temple. And then Savam Bhattacharya had sent four sets of clothes for Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Mahaprasad of Jagannath. All that was brought by Gopinath Acharya. He brought it and he fed the two lords, Nityananda Prabhu and Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and the remnants were distributed. And people are shouting outside the door, Hari Bol, Hari Bol. So a lot of crowd. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu again opens the door and again starts dancing, chanting. So everyone is in ecstasy. And then looking at that beautiful scene, Nityanand Prabhu makes a big prediction. So Chaitanya Charitamrita describes like this. Dekhi Nityananda Prabhu kahe bhakta gane. So all our devotees are there. Nityananda Prabhu looking at this dancing, chanting, he looks at the devotees and says, Dekhi Nityananda Prabhu kahe bhakta gane. Ei rupe nritya age habe grame grame. This is exactly how the Sankirtan will spread through each and every town and village of the world. This is his prediction at that time. So night was spent there, and early morning, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he starts going. And again, devotees, all those people, they start following him. And Mahaprabhu, he forbids them, don't come. And somehow, with a very heavy heart, all the devotees, they turn back. And actually, the full day, they are simply fasting and crying. They are not even eating. Full day, all the devotees stayed there. And next morning, then they went back to Jagannath Puri. That is the nature of love. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu actually came to give this love. So then when he started, he was also feeling so much separation that he started actually running so that he can quickly increase the distance between them. Then, like a mad lion, he's just chanting on the streets and going forwards toward South India. So, what is he chanting? So, he started chanting, which we'll all chant together. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Hey. Krishna, 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 Raksha Mam. Krishna, 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 Pahimam. Ram Raghava, Ram Raghava, Ram Raghava, Rakshamam. Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Krishna Keshava, Pahimam. So in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu with raised arms, Krishnadas following behind him, he's chanting and going. And sometimes he would see somebody on the street. Now who he was, whether it was a Brahman, Kshatriya, Vaishya, Shudra, Chandala, whoever he was, as soon as he looked at Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the beautiful form of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, the golden complexion, perfectly built body, tall body, very strongly built body, decorated with all the symptoms of Krishna Prema, tears flowing from his eyes, hairs on his body standing on end, trembling, voice faltering, they would immediately start chanting. Same mantra, Krishna, Krishna, Hari, Hari. And in this way, they would start following. Now they don't know why he's following, why they are following him. They're just going ahead. And at some point of time, when they are chanting, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu looks back at them, embraces them. And as soon as they're embraced, they start crying profuse tears. They start trembling. They start falling down. They start laughing, crying, shouting, Krishna, Krishna. And then they didn't know whom to follow. He's the only person. So they would start following him again. And Chaitanya Mahaprabhu would tell them, no, now you go back. So with great difficulty they would go back. But the symptoms on their body of that ecstasy of Krishna Prema, that would remain. And then they would go to their own village. So as soon as they went to the village people, whoever saw them, they would start chanting, Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram, Hare Hare. And these people would embrace them. And they would get the same Krishna Prema, the same ecstasy. And then the whole village practically would become Vaishnava. Then some of those villages, in the villages, outside villagers had come as guests. And they have received this. So they would go back to their villages and then they would give this Krishna Prem to them. In this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu practically made the whole of South India into lovers of Krishna. Then by and by he came to a place known as Kurma Kshetra. We'll stop in 10 minutes, 8:30. This Kurma Kshetra, there is a deity of Kurma. So in that temple, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, in his usual ecstasy, started dancing, chanting, and seeing his ecstasy, seeing his beauty. So many hundreds and hundreds of people started coming. And Mahaprabhu was encouraging everyone, chant the holy name, chant the holy names, Hari Bolo, Hari Bolo. And people would respond. And then the Pujari of Kurma, he brought some garland, Mahaprasad. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu accepted it. And there was one Brahman, Vedic Brahman, his name was Kurma. So he brought Chaitanya Mahaprabhu to his house for lunch. And there, by the mercy of Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he already knew the truth. So he washed his feet, took that water, drank it, distributed in the family. Gave him nice, wonderful kinds of South Indian food, maybe dosas, idlis, whatever it is. And then he said, "My Lord, today my birth, my kula, my existence, my family, my riches," he was a rich man, everything has been purified. Even Lord Brahma, he waits for your darshan. And today you came to my house. So who can be more fortunate than me? But now I have one request. Please allow me to come with you because I can no more tolerate the miseries of this material world. Srila Prabhupada comments in the purport of this particular section that no matter what is your background, whether you are a Vedic Brahmana, whether you are a rich man, poor man, whether you are from this country, that country, whether you are young, old, one thing is common for everyone in this material world, and that Prabhupada says that everyone by default is miserable. To mitigate that misery, you need to take shelter of Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, Sri Krishna. So then Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells this Vamana, Kurma Brahmana, he says, "Don't ever speak this again, that you want to come with me. Because wherever you are, you can perform devotional service. You can chant the holy names. You don't have to change any situation of your life." In fact, Lord Brahma, he uses a particular word called sthane stitaha. Whatever bhakti is so potent and powerful, sthane stitame, wherever you are, in whatever situation, you might be bedridden in a hospital, you might be on a war front, you might be cooking in the kitchen, you might be studying hard for exams, you might be teaching, you might be hundreds of things you might do. Nothing needs to change. Sthane stitaha. Wherever you are, just add element of bhakti. Surrender everything to Krishna. Your work, your life, existence, family. Manasa deha geha. Mind, body, graha. Geha means graha. Whatever you have, offer it to Arpulintriyapade Nanda Kishore. Manasa deha geha. Jo kichu more. Whatever I think it is mine, Arpilun tuyapade Nanda Kishore. That is bhakti. So Chaitanya Mahaprabhu tells him, you be where you are. But I am telling you a sutra. Wherever you are, you can succeed in your spiritual life. And no more the miseries of material world will attack you. What is that sutra? Incessantly chant the holy names. Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare. Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare. And then he says, just don't be selfish. That only you know how to chant. What does he say? He says, Yara dekha tarakah Krishna upadesh. Whomever you meet. What is the word? Whomever you meet. Yara dekha tarakah. So it's not that you select some friendly neighbor and only select, oh, this guy, he can become, so I'll give him. Anyone, Muslim, Christian, rich, poor, whoever he is, antagonistic to you, don't worry about it because you are not the doer. You're a vehicle. Just give some prasad, give some Gita. Yaradakha tarakah Krishna upadesh. Amar agya guru hana tarayedesh. So what is he saying? By my order. Now Chaitanya Mahaprabhu first time is taking this role suddenly. Krishnadas Kaviraj Goswami says, in Navadvip, he didn't show his opulence as Supreme Lord. But in South India, he fully manifests the opulence. So he says, Amar Agya Guru Hana Tarai Desh. That by my order, become a guru and liberate this land. Liberate this land means wherever you are, in that area, whatever is circle of your influence, liberate that place. And in this way, he goes away. Now, when he was there was one in the Kurma Kshetra only itself, there was one Brahmana. His name was Vasudev. He was a great exalted devotee. Somehow, he had leprosy. So his body had many boils, oozing with pus, foul odor. So he was like outcast outside the village. No one would even go near that place because of two things. One, the stink, and second is the fear that we may contract this disease. But still, he was such a great devotee that whenever from the boil there were worms. In medical language, they're called maggots. They're white colored worms, shiny white color. So they suck all the pus and blood continuously. So they are like moving around in the wounds. And sometimes they have sucked so much blood and pus that they become really like turgid with, eating all that thing. And then they fall off because of the too much eating. When they fall on the ground, Vasudev would pick them up very carefully, bring them back and put it inside his wound. So it's not imagination. This is how he was doing. Why? Because he thought this body, I am sitting in this body, but it is as much belonging to him. That is his food. Jivo jivasya jivanam. So that was his consciousness. So when he heard that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has come to Kurumakshetra, he came running early morning to the house of Kurma Brahman. And when Vasudeva was told that, oh, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu just left, maybe 2, 3 hours back, immediately he fell down unconscious, started crying. He said, I'm so unfortunate. Not because I have these boils, because I couldn't see him. So just as he is thinking very intensely about the Lord that he couldn't meet him, suddenly Chaitanya Mahaprabhu appears there, right there. And what does he does? Immediately embraces Vasudeva. He's a leper. He embraces him, and as soon as he embraces him, miracle happens. His whole body becomes completely healthy, strong, golden colored. All the boils go away. So he's looking at me. What is this? And he understands. Oh, so he was a great bhakta. Immediately quotes a shloka from Srimad Bhagavatam, which Sudama Vipra, when he meets Dwarkadish Krishna, he recited this shloka. Dwarkadish Krishna embraces Sudama Brahmin, who was a very poor, with all torn clothes, very skinny, no food to eat. And such a poor person, and Dwarkadish Krishna is embracing him. So that shloka is there, where Sudama says, I am simply a Brahma Bandhu. I'm not even a proper Brahman. I'm just a relative of a Brahmana. And what is my great fortune that Dwarkadish Krishna has embraced me. It is not because of any of my qualification, but it is the greatest mercy of Dwarkadish Krishna. So, like that, he is glorifying. So when he glorifies this, and in his heart, he starts thinking that now that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given me this beautiful body, healthy body, till now I was very humble. See, when you are in difficult situation, generally humility is forced upon you. It's there. But when everything is going all right, then what we think? I am doing it. I am the master. Look at me. Even as devotee, I'm doing so much devotion. So this Vasudeva Brahmana is thinking, I'm afraid. I'll become very proud now. And as soon as pride comes, my devotion will go away. Because pride and devotion cannot go together. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu said, Trinadapi sunichena tarorapi saishrana amanina manadena kirtaniya sadhari. So, as soon as he starts thinking, again, Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, he is sitting in Paramatma as Paramatma. He understands what he is thinking. And he immediately tells him, do not worry. If you chant the holy names incessantly, and again he tells the same thing, हमारा आज्ञा गुरु हना तारे देश यार देखे तारा कह कृष्ण उपदेश. Just give out this bhakti, the knowledge about Krishna, knowledge about the bhakti process. Give it to everyone, and you will never feel proud. So, what is the process of not being proud? Just act as servant of Krishna. What is the order of Krishna? Jaradakhe tarakah Krishna upadesh. Amara agya guru hana tarayidesh. So give out. Do not worry whether somebody accepts, doesn't accept. Just give it out. And in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu immediately vanishes. Where is he gone? Both of them they can't see. Then Vasudev and the Brahmana, Kurma Brahmana, later on, they used to meet every day, discuss over Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, and keep on giving the knowledge of bhakti to everyone else. And in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu received a new name. Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has many names. So one new name he received. What is that name? Vasudevamrita Prada. One who gives Amrit to Vasudev. That name Chaitanya Mahaprabhu got. And in this way, Chaitanya Mahaprabhu goes further into South India while chanting the holy names Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Ram, Hare Ram, Ram Ram. So we'll stop here today, and next time, whenever we continue, we'll start from here. Thank you very much for patient hearing. Hare Krishna.